UNC and Ocho hot take. Dolphins trade Tua Tagovailoa for Browns' Shedeur Sanders. Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco Johnson react to Tua Tagovailoa's disastrous performance in the Miami Dolphins' 33-8 loss to the Colts. After throwing 2 interceptions and losing a fumble, Tua's former teammate Xavier Howard shaded him by saying he panics after his first read. UNC and Ocho debate if it's time for Miami to consider trading Tua for Cleveland Browns QB Shedeur Sanders. Here's what I'll do. I'll create a 4,000-word creative sports piece in the style of a hot take reaction, as if UNC and Ocho, Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson, are reacting to a blockbuster trade where the Miami Dolphins trade Tua Tagovailoa for Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders. It will be structured like a mix of sports debate banter, inside NFL storytelling, hypothetical trade breakdown, cultural/legacy angles, Deion Sanders factor, Dolphins history, Browns impact, and wild fan/media reactions. This way it reads entertaining, bold, and hot-takey while still long enough for the 4,000-word request. UNC and Ocho hot take. Dolphins trade Tua Tagovailoa for Browns' Shedeur Sanders. Creative sports story. Approximate. 4,000 words. Intro. Breaking news shocker. The NFL doesn't just surprise fans, it rewrites reality overnight. 1 minute you're scrolling through highlights of Tyreek Hill torching corners, the next you see a ticker across ESPN so wild you rub your eyes twice. Breaking. Miami Dolphins trade QB Tua Tagovailoa to Cleveland Browns for rookie QB Shedeur Sanders and draft picks. Phones buzzed. Group chats exploded. Fan bases went into meltdown. And then, as if scripted by the football gods themselves, the cameras cut to UNC and Ocho, the sports duo that lives for outrageous takes. Shannon Sharpe leaned back in his chair with that sly grin, while Chad Ochocinco Johnson leaned so far forward his gold teeth practically reflected in the studio lights. This wasn't just a trade. This was a cultural earthquake. Part 1. The trade heard around the world. Before we dive into the banter, let's lay it out clean. Miami Dolphins receive Shedeur Sanders, 2026 second-round pick, conditional 2027 third-round pick. Cleveland Browns receive Tua Tagovailoa. The deal flipped the script on both franchises. The Browns, who had stockpiled quarterbacks like a doomsday prepper with canned beans, suddenly had an established starter in Tua. The Dolphins, who already had playoff aspirations, gambled their entire trajectory on a rookie backup whose jersey was outselling Patrick Mahomes. It made no sense, which is exactly why it made perfect sense for the modern NFL. Part 2. UNC and Ocho take the mic. Shannon, UNC shop. Hold on, Ocho. You mean to tell me, the Miami Dolphins, with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle runnin' free every Sunday, decided, you know what? We don't need no proven quarterback. Let's go trade him for a rookie who ain't played a down yet. This gotta be a prank. Ashton Kutcher in the building? Where the cameras at? Ochocinco. UNC, listen to me, bruh. This ain't a prank. This prime time, baby. You ain't see the writing on the wall? Shedeur Sanders ain't just some rookie. That boy royalty. He the son of Deion Prime Time Sanders. He got the aura, the swag, the fans lined up. Miami ain't just trading for a quarterback, they trading for a movement. Shannon. Movement don't win playoff games. Footwork do. Reading coverages do. And Tua, when healthy, he can spin it. He was in MVP conversations last year. You gon' give that up for a kid fresh outta Boulder. Ocho. Fresh outta Boulder with ice water in his veins. He built for this. Look, Miami ain't thinkin' short term. They playin' chess, not checkers. They say, okay, we got Shedeur for the next 15 years. Pay him rookie money now, build the roster around him, and by the time he cookin', Tyreek and Waddle gone look like the new Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Shannon. Ocho, you high off them honey buns again. 'Cause I don't care how many followers Shedeur got, I don't care how many hats Deion wear on the sideline, Tua was proven. Shedeur is potential. You can't sell me no, maybe, when you already had a yes. Part 3. Fan bases go to war. Twitter, or X, depending on how Elon wakes up that day, turned into a digital battlefield. Dolphins fans, some were ecstatic, hyped by the Deion connection and the idea of a young star to rally behind. Others were furious, saying the front office had lost their minds. Browns fans, they had been split on Shedeur since draft night. Some worshipped his swagger. Others thought he was more celebrity than quarterback. Now, with Tua in hand, Cleveland felt like they had stability, but they lost the future's biggest what if. Memes flew faster than Tyreek Hill on a go route. Dolphins fans photoshopped Deion in a Miami visor. Browns fans posted, "Goodbye Prime Babies" banners. Neutral fans just sat back with popcorn emojis. Part 4. The Legacy Factor. Here's where it gets juicy. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just a proud NFL dad watching from the sidelines. He was a cultural force. If Shedeur in Miami popped off, that wasn't just a Dolphins storyline. It was primetime 2.0 on South Beach. Imagine Deion at Dolphins games, rocking custom gold Miami jackets, walking into Hard Rock Stadium like it's the Met Gala. Recruiters, rappers, influencers, all pulling up just to be part of the aura. The Dolphins didn't just buy a quarterback. They bought a brand. Part 5. UNC loses his cool. Shannon. Let me ask you something, Ocho. If Shedeur's last name wasn't Sanders, if his daddy wasn't prime time, would we even be having this conversation?
No.
Miami wouldn't dare trade a Pro Bowl quarterback for a rookie. They blinded by the lights. This Hollywood, not football. Ocho. UNC, you sound like one of them old heads sittin' on the porch talkin' 'bout back in my day. Bruh, the game done changed. Marketing matters. Jerseys matter. Momentum matter. And Shedeur got it all. Dolphins gone sell out every home game before he even take a snap. Shannon. Sellin' tickets don't get you to the Super Bowl, Ocho. Tell me this. When the playoffs come, you trustin' Shedeur to outduel Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen?
Huh.
You trustin' that? Ocho. I trust him to shock the world, just like he did at Colorado. Y'all ain't believe in him then, either. And look what happened. He had the whole country watching college football just to see what Prime and Shedeur was doing. Now multiply that by 10 in Miami. Part 6. The Football Angle. Let's break the X's and O's. Tua Tagovailoa. Accurate, quick release, thrives in Mike McDaniel's system. His biggest knock. Durability. Concussions, injuries, questions about longevity. Shedeur Sanders. Young, big arm, calm under pressure, smart decision-maker. But raw. No NFL snaps. For Cleveland, Tua gave them reliability. Pair him with Amari Cooper, David Njoku, and that defense? The Browns might actually escape quarterback purgatory. For Miami, if Shedeur hits, they just pulled off the greatest heist since Bill Walsh traded for Steve Young. If he flops, they wasted Tyreek Hill's prime years on a gamble. Part 7. Cultural Collision. This wasn't just about football, it was about culture. Miami, flashy, celebrity-driven, nightlife-fueled. Shedeur fit that vibe perfectly. Cleveland, gritty, blue-collar, hungry for relevance. Tua gave them stability, not flash. It almost felt scripted. Like the NFL knew this would send ratings through the roof.